Hello and welcome to the next episode of Digital Twin. Now and today we will talk about ERP and how it is part of the fourth industrial revolution. Stay tuned. Digital Twin Podcast is a place where technology and business is going hand in hand.
If you are thinking about digitalizing your company, you found the right place.
Podcast is hosted by Adrian Stelmach, consultant who implements IT solutions for manufacturing companies.
And Paul Pachovich, industrial digitalization expert, who helps global companies to optimize production processes. Great. I'm excited because we are talking about the ERP again. So this is the 24th episode. And the question for today is if the ERP is a part of Industry 4.0. Again, the answer seems to be obvious, but maybe we can talk a little about the summary of the previous episode where we started talking about the ERP systems, the benefits and different modules that ERP system can have. So let's start with that, and then we'll have a discussion around the ERP and is it the part of Industry 4.0 or 3.0 or 5.0. So let's summarize the previous episode.
Yeah, sure. So in previous episode, we just broadly said what ERP is, and it is enterprise resource planning. So it is a IT system which helps organizations to integrate and optimize business processes. So it could be like literally everything which you need in organization regarding to IT systems, from invoices, from warehouse, from project planning, from production planning, and so on. But it could be also created for a specific task or a specific area of business. And they started in 60s actually to 20th century. So we can say that in general, ERP systems have more than 60 years right now. But in the form which is known right now, I would say it's like more 80s or 90s.
Yeah. So Industry 4.0 and the ERP. When you're thinking of Industry 4.0, what are you thinking? You're thinking data, you're thinking smart factories. What do you think? Because then we can find a relation with Industry 4.0 and the ERP system. It's relevant to mention the four different levels really quickly, because I think when you understand the four different levels of digitalization, then it's kind of obvious that the ERP is a part of Industry 4.0.
Yeah. So as we said before, ERP started in a third industrial revolution, but there's so many different things regarding to current ERP systems which are on the market that we can say for sure that the current ones have a lot of different functionalities which for sure are taken from industrial revolution. So if you think about, because you ask about the four layers, so to sum it up, in manufacturing companies or in most of the companies which you can automate the data flow, you can say that you have like 4 layers of IT systems which are needed to automatize and have a full digitalization in the organization. So the first layer is a control layer. So you have like sensors and you have raw data about, let's say, electricity consumption, about some temperatures, about production controls, and so on. Second layer is a SCADA system and data collecting systems. So this is like a layer when you see the raw information, or you can collect them. The third layer is MES systems. So those are systems which are connecting those storage data to see it in a different points of view, and have a lot of different deep levels of information in it. And the fourth layer, those are ERP systems, artificial intelligence, business intelligence, and so on, which are, you can say like a parachute over those three layers. So they're just summing up, or they are just, concluding for the things which are stored in the previous three layers.
Yeah, great. So yeah, maybe maybe we can talk about the benefits for manufacturing companies, because the previous episode was kind of general, about different modules that could be used for different companies, different industries. But I think it's time to focus on our favorite, which is manufacturing. So, what would you say the number one thing that helps, optimize it? The number one benefit for manufacturing companies is from implementing ERP system?
Yeah, for sure, I would say this is like ability to produce more, because if you have ERP set it up in place, it means that in a real time, and if you have the automatization between the previous layers, let's say, because it's not so obvious, you can have ERP, but you can just put the data in the ERP manually in the end of your shift. So you don't have information just in time. But if you have information just in time, it means that you can control the efficiency just in time. So you can just, make changes, or just, say, let's say that one of your machines have a, downtime, or there's an emergency. So if you know about it just in time, and you have this information in the ERP system, it means that you can make a conclusion right away, and you can make a decision right away to, for example, produce in a different machine, or just stop producing at all because the costs are too high, and you don't want to wait, and you want to spend those costs on, a machine which probably will not work for weeks. And so yeah, I would say this is a real ability to make more money.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to say the same thing, but I will talk about it from a different perspective. I will talk about it as an access to real time data, and then the benefits of being able to access that is that you can actually see whatever is happening at the production line, but and you can find out what is your capacity. If you are reaching your capacity of the production, you can work with your schedules. But I think the one thing that is directly connected to accessing the real-time data is the ability to identify bottlenecks of your production. So on one hand, you can maximize whatever area that you should maximize in order to generate more revenue. But on the other hand, you can find those bottlenecks of the production line that you can identify, and eliminating those bottlenecks, then you can have even more progress, just because you're not only maximizing whatever works good, but you're also eliminating the bottlenecks of the production line. So that would be my number one. What is your number two? Or you want to comment on what I said?
Yeah, I can talk about my number two. It's not like a hierarchical one, but I would say that the second thing would be like a better cooperation between different departments, and especially a production department and sales. Because let's say, if you are a production company and you are a large one, probably your warehouse is large as well. And a lot of parts of production are going to warehouse when they are just stored and just being waited to be sold, right? Some of them are just if you have like a just-in-time production, let's say you are like producing exactly what is your what is ordered from your customers. But some of the production for sure is going to warehouse and is waiting to be sold. And if you have ERP system which is connected to customer relationships management module, and this module is connected to the information from warehouse, it means that the salespeople know exactly what they should focus on regarding to sales, because they can focus on selling what is produced right now, and not just building a new production orders from for the production, right? And this is very important because of course it depends on what kind of goods you are producing. But if you're in the food industry, it means that all of your production, they have a label and time which it has to be consumed. So if you don't sell it in a specific time window, it means you can just throw it out to garbage, and it's a waste in every part of it's a horrible situation, right?
Yeah, especially that I'm in sales myself, so I can just imagine, and I've seen that happen within different sales teams, that you're selling whatever you like selling. You're selling whatever is easy to sell. You're just making decisions based on your personal preference. But if you have a wide range of products or services, the way to manage that would be to actually look at what we have, what we are producing, what we have organized, and what we have in the warehouse, and then make salespeople sell whatever makes the most sense to sell at the time, so they can still maximize the services or products that they know how to sell, but also they should have a KPI that every sale should consist of whatever amount of products that they love to sell, but also to be able to kind of upsell the other products or services that the company offers. So yeah, that makes perfect sense for the company, as sales is driving the development of pretty much every single company. But I speak as a salesperson, so of course sales is most important.
Yeah, sales is the heart of every organization, right? Because without sales, you cannot do anything. And if I comment it in few words, I would just want to tell you like an example. Let's say you have 10 different things which you are selling, and you're in a food industry, manufacturing. And you are really focusing on the only one, right? Because you like it, everyone wants it, so everyone wants to sell it. But there is one problem. Probably this one item is produced only in 1 or 2 machines. And so you have 10 machines in your company, 7 or 8 of them just are waiting for sales, and the sales is selling everything for a first or a second machine. So this is horrible situation, because first of all, you cannot sell it because customers are waiting in a huge queue because the machines are too slow to produce such an amounts of sale which you're pushing, right? So this is a broader topic, and maybe we'll talk about it later on. But one of the board members for sure should be responsible on sales, and he should implement the strategy of the organization, and manage his team that way that, okay, better guys, maybe they should sell like the harder apples.
Sure. Yeah. So the second benefit, benefit that I think is influencing the organization the most would be increase of efficiency by eliminating the tasks that are repetitive, the tasks that can be automated, because, and that's kind of not obvious because then you have more time and energy, and you can focus on strategic thinking. You can focus on things that are crucial for the organization, versus just doing things that have to be done. So I look at it as not only the fact that you are automating things that don't require thinking, they just require doing, but also that enables you and that gives you more space for doing the things that are really crucial for the organization. So you have that the part that is not that crucial taken care of, and then you have more time for thinking. And I think thinking is just enabler of proper planning and innovation for every organization.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'll add something for that because, for example, if you are in a production company, it means that operators, which are using the machines, probably they have to report their work, right? And most of the time they will spend like 5-10 minutes, let's say, on each shift to report what they just did.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like a automated reporting and automated data flow from the machine to the ERP system, it means that operator is not spending any minute to report. And what does it mean exactly? Exactly, it means that those 5 or 10 minutes they just can spend to produce more. This is the first thing. The second thing, they don't have to take the responsibility what they just write down. It could be stressful that you have to, summarize the entire 8 hours work in just one report. Why people have to take those responsibility, right? So yeah, those are the crucial keys. So you are actually, taking some time from the things which are not giving any value, and you can put this time to just, increase the efficiency.
Yeah. What was your number two?
I would say that ERP can also help, implementation maybe of ERP and and like beginning modules of ERP, let's say, like the crucial ones for your organization, can be very helpful regarding to learning actually how the digitalization process should work, right? So if you don't have any IT system in your organization, and if you are implementing ERP, you can learn a lot from it, and your people can learn a lot from it, and it could be very helpful to implement other systems, like for example MES or SCADA, or from the other layers, or as we said, business intelligence and so on. So you can go in the future, after implementing of simple ERP models, you can be like very much more wiser, and it could be much more helpful in the future.
Yeah, I think those are enough. The benefits that we mentioned, because there's other thing that I think we should be talking about now, and the complexity of the ERP system is tremendous, right? So I think we should talk about the fact that the ERP, to be effective, to provide with all the information and so you can make better decisions, it has to be integrated with, I don't know, dozens of systems, probably other IT systems within the organization. So it is important, but if you, with your technical background and mind, how would you explain why this is so important for that ERP system to be integrated with other IT systems within the organization?
Yeah, so if you think about ERP, is like this is like an Excel spreadsheet, like on steroids. So if so, automated ERP systems, a system which is collecting the data from the machines and from the process, is something like Starship or something like that, right? Because you can have ERP system which is like a better spreadsheet. But so you have like a place where you are collecting the data, but you still have to manually put the data on it, right? In most of companies which I work with in the past, they had ERP systems, but for example, the manual reporting works like operators still have to write those reports by hand, right? And then someone took this report, took it to ERP, and just rewrite the data to the ERP. Of course, this is a better way than not having ERP or having a spreadsheet instead, but still it's not the main goal. The main goal should be the total data automatization. So the data should came across this 4 different layers which you talked about, and but this is very hard to achieve because to implement ERP systems, you don't need to know exactly how the company works regarding the technology, right? It's just you have to know the law, you have to know the finance, you have to know the business of the company, but you don't have to go that more deep on detail. But if you want this data flow, have in place, it means that you have to exactly know what machine produces what and what kind of quality informations are important, from where exactly we have to take those information, how we should count the total cost of the product. There's like hundreds of different data sources. That's why ERP should be the beginning, but it shouldn't be end for a manufacturing company.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I can just share 2 examples with you and then the audience, because it all seems pretty complicated. All the systems that need to be integrated. But if you're looking at the ERP system that is integrated, connected with CRM, right? That can help to deliver like consistent customer service, right? For the customer. So that kind of shows that it's complicated, but on the other hand, if you use an example and you think about it, it just enables that connection between ERP and CRM. It enables for better interaction with customers, better customer service. The touch points are easier to identify. That would be one. And then the other would be the integration of ERP and the supply chain, for example, right? So that gives you more visibility and efficiency on your supply chain. And it's easy to say to integrate those two, but probably to do it it's a lot of work. But I just wanted to give 2 very simple examples, for our audience, to kind of understand that, on the back end side, it's complicated, but the business benefit that you can, draw from that is unbelievable. Yep. So if I think this is enough about the integrations. I think we talked about technical part. We talked about the benefits. Gave 2 simple examples. What do you think the future of ERP systems is?
Yeah, we actually started about the future because we talked about artificial intelligence, and I think in this systems which are fully automated and which are collecting the data automatically, basically, because I would say this is crucial, especially for manufacturing companies. Artificial intelligence is something which can give you to the next level, take you to the next level, because let's say you have those, tens of thousands of information every single day, right? You have probably there is information what you should do better to save more money or work more efficient, but how to find this information, right? Of course, there could be algorithms which will help you to send some notifications or help you catch the places which are inefficient, like bottlenecks and so on. But artificial intelligence will give you the next level because it can make you a prediction. It could give you a prediction what will happen if the production goes right away. What will happen if the machine will work in this specific way, or they can predict, for example, that if the history is if you have a data from few years, there are some repetitive situations going on in every company, right? There is repetitive situations regarding to downtimes on the machines. There's repetitive situations regarding to emergency situations, and this artificial intelligence can just see in what kind of scenario those downtimes or emergencies were done, and they can predict that when it will happen again. So, and you can imagine how many costs it could save to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use what you said and build on it, because the AI and machine learning, this is obviously a lot of information that needs to be analyzed and processed, and for that you need um computing power. I'm gonna say that the future is the future of the ERP system is mostly related to cloud-based ERPs, than on-premise ERPs, and for that simple reason that if you have a cloud-based ERP system, then the scalability of the computing power is way easier, than if you have that, on premise. So yeah, I think the AI will absolutely take over, but and machine learning, but in order, for those technologies to take over, they have to have access to computing power, which is gonna be way easier to do if it's cloud-based ERP systems. I'm guessing they all gonna be cloud-based, or maybe not. Maybe not for like military purposes or stuff like that, because maybe the data is too sensitive. But yeah, so I think that was good. Any takeaway? Because it was a good episode, like the mix of technical part, business benefits, a lot of examples. I did like anything that we missed, anything that you want to add before we go?
Yeah, I want to say a few words about the cloud because, for example, my ERP system is cloud-based, and I'm pretty convinced that it's safe and there's no leak of information. But I know that manufacturing companies are afraid of cloud still. Of course, I would say that it is reasonable because there's a lot of know-how gathered in this ERP or MES systems. But in the other hand, cloud is much cheaper because servers and say making secure physical servers in the organization, making like a proper it's like very cost. So you need a lot of money to do it in the right way, right? If you do the same thing in the cloud, it reduces costs so much, and also it makes you think about, makes you like an access to it from like all of the places you want. And you can also have a two-factor authentication the same way you have in your bank account. And we all are using bank accounts, right? So we are not scared that banks gather information in the cloud. So why you should be scared about ERP systems, right?
Sure, that makes sense. I think my takeaway would be, and please comment on that from your perspective. But the ERPs, yeah. What is the relationship between more and more people working remotely and ERP systems? Is it like the more people will go, will work remotely from different locations, maybe different time zones? So I think the ability to access this business data, anytime, anywhere. I think this is the space of like ERP development that will take over. So the more people will work remotely, and I'm guessing more and more people will work remotely, we are going to the phase that people are actually getting back to the offices right now. But I think the future is still a remote work. So if you have people in 7 different countries, if you have people in 5 different time zones, I think the ERP is the way to go, because it just gives you the ability to access the data anytime, anywhere. So that would be my takeaway. So if there's nothing else, I'd like to thank you, Adrian, for this episode, and I think it will be interesting if you talk about the solutions that you're developing within the next episode. So we can talk about it from a business perspective, but maybe from a perspective of you and your company and the way you use those tools, because that would be interesting to me, and I'm guessing interesting to people that are about to make those kind of decisions, and then they would like to have access to hands-on review kind of thing, and then the business benefits of the solutions that you are creating at your company. So that's something that we will be most likely talking about within next episode. So thank you for today, and there is a lot of good things that are coming. So stay tuned.
Thank you. Bye.